Apple just leaked something big, and I mean big. The Apple Watch Ultra 4 is coming in September 2026, and the leaks that are dropping right now are actually insane. We are talking about a watch that is 15% thinner, has a bigger battery, Touch ID, double the health sensors, and a chip so powerful it might literally end Garmin's run in the sports watch market. So, if you were thinking about buying any smartwatch right now, stop. Watch this video first, because what Apple is cooking for Ultra 4 might just change your whole decision. Let me give you everything in the first minute. The Ultra 3 right now gives you about 72 hours in standby mode and around 42 hours of active use. That is decent. But here is the problem. The Garmin Forerunner 970 gets 20 hours with dual-band GPS running non-stop. The Coros Pace 4 manages 31 hours, and the Garmin Fenix 8, some models hit 50 hours. So Garmin is just destroying Apple in raw battery life for outdoor athletes. Now the Ultra 4 leaks say Apple is finally fighting back. The new model is expected to last 72 hours under normal use, not standby normal use. That is a massive jump. And on top of that, a new, extreme mode is reportedly coming to optimize power during long hikes and marathons, keeping the watch alive as a real survival tool in tough conditions. Meanwhile, the Ultra 4 will also be 15% thinner, built on the new T8320 processor, and loaded with double the health sensors compared to older models. Blood pressure, hydration, stress detection, all real-time. All of this for a price expected to stay around $799, maybe going up to $1899 max. Garmin Fenix 8 costs the same money, but does way less on the smart side. Ultra 4 is coming for that crown. Now let me verify all of this, because I know some of you are thinking, bro, is this real or just clickbait? So here are the sources. 9to5Mac published a full breakdown of 4 rumored new features for the Ultra 4, citing Digitime's supply chain sources saying new sensors will let Apple minimize its dependence on algorithmic data interpretation, leading to better health data and improved battery performance. Macworld's Philippe Esposito, a journalist known for digging directly into leaked Apple code, found references to Applemesa in software tied to 2026 Apple Watch models. Applemesa is Apple's own internal code name for Touch ID. This is not a guess. It is in the code. Smartwatch Insight, citing Digitimes and Funarena, reported that supply chain sources confirmed a significant improvement in power efficiency for Ultra 4, most likely from a new S11 or S12 chip built on a newer manufacturing process. The same move Apple has been running on iPhones for years. And from a code level leak reported by iDrop News and verified by MacRumors, an early build of iOS 26 running on an Apple prototype device confirmed the Apple Watch Ultra 4 under the internal codename N240, proving Apple is absolutely keeping its high-end wearable on an annual release cycle. On the social side, Philippe Esposito himself has been posting about the Applemesa Touch ID discovery on X and Macworld, and tech analysts like those at Funarena backed it up by reporting the same Touch ID feature is coming to the standard Apple Watch Series 12 as well. Which means Apple is not building this just for one device. It is a full platform move. Weibo supply chain leakers have also been circulating details on the N240 design matching the thinner titanium case rumors, further aligning with what Digitimes and Geeky Gadgets have been reporting independently. Alright, so now let's go deep. Let's talk about the battery situation first, because honestly that is why everyone clicked this video. The Ultra 3 right now needs a charge every 2 days, if you are using it actively. For normal gym guys and runners that is fine, but if you are doing an ultra marathon, a 50-mile trail run, or even a 3-day camping trip, you are going to need to charge it mid-adventure. That is embarrassing for an 800 watch. Apple has actually never tried to compete on raw battery life. The Ultra has always been positioned as a do-everything device that just happens to be rugged enough for athletes. But that excuse is getting old, and the Ultra 4 leaks say Apple knows it. The Ultra 3 was the first Ultra to actually last longer than its predecessor, and that took 3 generations to happen. So the trajectory is moving in the right direction. Now with the new chip and smarter power management, the Ultra 4 is reportedly targeting up to 48 hours of regular usage on a single charge, with extreme mode pushing even further for endurance events. Some leaks suggest the internal redesign may also allow a physically larger battery cell inside the case. If that happens alongside the chip upgrade, you are looking at a watch that can genuinely compete with Garmin on endurance. Now let's talk about the chip, because this is actually the most important part. The Ultra 4 is expected to carry the T8-320 processor, a next-generation chip built specifically to balance power and energy savings, enabling real-time health monitoring and enhanced GPS tracking without destroying the battery the way older chips did. And there are also references to an S11 or S12 chip depending on the source. Either way, the message is the same: a newer manufacturing process, smaller transistors, less power wasted as heat, more battery saved for actual use. This chip will be able to distribute power intelligently, sending energy only to essential tasks when the battery is running low, basically turning the watch into a smarter survival tool. Think of it like this. Right now, when your Apple Watch battery drops to 10%, the thing becomes useless. With smart power distribution, it will keep GPS and health tracking alive even on the last few percent. That is a huge deal for outdoor athletes. Now the design. This is the part that people who have worn an Apple Watch Ultra before will actually love. The biggest design news is a 15% reduction in thickness compared to the previous model. If you have worn an Ultra, you know it sits pretty thick on your wrist. It is like strapping a small tank on your arm. A 15% slimmer case means it becomes way more comfortable for daily wear, for sleeping with it on, and for workouts where you do not want the watch hitting things. At the same time, Apple managed to fit a larger display by minimizing the bezels. The screen looks bigger even though the overall watch size barely increases. The case is still titanium. Still tough. Still waterproof. Still built for extreme conditions. Apple just trimmed the fat without taking away the muscle. And the internal codename for this new design is N240, confirmed across multiple supply chain sources, and the iOS 26 prototype leak. Let's talk Touch ID now because this one is wild. This did not come from a vague supply chain tip. Macworld's Philippe Esposito found direct references to Applemesa in leaked Apple developer software, and Applemesa has been Apple's internal codename for Touch ID for years. This is a specific, traceable find. The Apple Watch right now has never had a fingerprint sensor. You either use your passcode or you keep your iPhone nearby to unlock it. Imagine you are in the middle of a run, your hands are sweaty, and you need to pay for something or unlock the watch. Right now that is kind of a pain. With Touch ID built into the side button or the action button, you just press and done. One thing that makes this leak extra believable, Fun Arena is also reporting Touch ID is coming to the standard Apple Watch Series 12. Apple does not build fingerprint hardware for just one product. If it is on Series 12, it is real. Now the health sensors. This is where things get really interesting. Apple is reportedly doubling the number of health sensors inside the Ultra 4. The reason is that most watches today use machine learning algorithms to guess things like stress levels and sleep stages. With double the sensors, the Ultra 4 would take more direct physical measurements, meaning better sleep tracking, hydration monitoring, and real recovery tracking for athletes. Blood pressure notifications are also expected, not just the vague. You might have hypertension. Alert that exists now, but actual real blood pressure readings. That alone would be massive. However, blood sugar monitoring is not coming in 2026. Multiple analysts say Apple's non-invasive glucose technology still is not accurate enough to ship, and the regulatory bar is too high, so do not expect that just yet. But real blood pressure readings plus hydration plus stress plus the existing heart rate and SpO2, that makes this thing closer to a medical device than a fitness gadget. Now let me compare this directly to the competition. Garmin Fenix 8. Same price range, incredible battery life, amazing GPS, but the smartwatch experience is nowhere near Apple. No Siri, no Apple Pay, no seamless iPhone integration, the App Store is tiny compared to watchOS. Kuros PCIe 4. Great battery, lightweight, but extremely basic on smart features. Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Ultra, solid competitor, has blood pressure tracking already, good battery, but the ecosystem is only really good if you use Android. Apple Watch Ultra 4 is going to be the only watch that gives you 70 hours of battery, Touch ID, real blood pressure, advanced health sensors, full watchOS apps, Apple Pay, Siri, and iPhone integration all in one package. Nobody else is doing all of that together. Not at this price. Not even close. Let me also be real with you about what is now coming. Apple could also use those efficiency gains to shrink the battery and add new features instead of purely extending runtime. So do not assume the battery life jump is guaranteed until Apple officially announces it. Blood glucose is not happening. MicroLED display is also not confirmed for 2026. The display is staying with LTPO3 OLED, reportedly up to 500 nits of brightness, which is still excellent. And a full radical redesign is probably not happening. The big hardware redesign leaks are pointing more toward 2028. So Ultra 4 is more of a polished powerhouse than a totally new direction. So should you buy it? If you have an Ultra 1 or Ultra 2, yes, absolutely. This is the upgrade you have been waiting for. Ultra 3 owners, it depends. If battery life is your main issue, wait and see what the final numbers look like in September. If you have a Garmin Fenix or any Garmin watch, and you also use an iPhone, this might be the year Apple finally gives you a reason to switch. The battery gap is closing, the health features are stacking up, and the smart features were always ahead. Apple is expected to announce the Ultra 4 at its fall event in early September 2026, with availability following a week or two later. That is just a few months away. And trust me, the closer we get, the more leaks are going to drop. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss any of those updates. If this video helped you understand what is coming, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel more than you think. And comment down below, are you upgrading to the Ultra 4, or are you staying with what you have? I am reading every single comment. See you in the next one.